of Laurier Secondary in London, Ontario, averaging 6 points a game. Josh Braby averages 17.5 points a game. He's out of Northwestern Stratford. Jason Edwards, 10.5 points a game out of Northern Ontario. Corey Bondi, 6 points a game out of Preston High School in Cambridge, Ontario. And Chris Barkley, 10.5 points a game. Struggles from the line, only 3 of 10 on the season. Clark Road High School in London. For the Saints, they will start with Reed Innes, fourth-year man wearing jersey number 30. Steve Talbot, Dwayne Hamilton, transfer from the University of Windsor. Chris Clark. Then the man wearing jersey number 32, Brian Bradley. Fanshawe wins a tip, road red. White numbers, black trim from left to right, and we're underway. The OCAA regular season opener from St. Clair. Turnover. First possession, 17 seconds in.
This is a critical time in the game now for St. Clair College. I had the pleasure of talking to Rick Muldoon a few nights ago. He doesn't like how his team's been playing in the first half. They've really been creating a lot of turnovers, unforced errors, and they just created one the other way for Fanshawe throwing it out of bounds. So maybe a decent start for Muldoon right now.
Chris Clark working man-on-man with Bob McFountain. First-year man against a three-year man. Clark, the freshman out of Walkerville. Three ball good.
Steve Talbot from downtown. Muldoon really likes how he's come along over the past 3 years. Started out as a center, but you can put him out on the wing now. He's not looking to drive to the basket. He's shooting, he's spotting up, he's squaring up to the basket, playing very well early in the season.
That make comes out of the right corner. Shot clock down to 15. Three-ball answer is good from the left side. This Fanshawe team attempted 26 threes, made 3 of them in the final minute of their comeback win against Niagara. They trailed it by 7 with 59 seconds left, and they came away with a 67-65 win. Another 3 this time misses from the left side. So we've seen 4 trips, 3 three-ball shot attempts, 2 makes, and we're tied at 3. A minute 3 into the game. Dwayne Hamilton off the inbound from Reed Innes. Gets it back to Innes in the corner. Working off the dribble. Pull-up jumper, long. Talbot's going to be fouled for a whistle. Check that whistle for a foul, rather. Only 1:10 into the game, so that's a man they cannot afford to have in foul trouble, and he picks one up away from the ball.
He's got to be boxing out his man, using his feet on defense. He can't be pushing in the back to get that position. He can't afford to have 3 fouls in the first half. He's one of their key players.
Straight man by the Saints defensively. Near turnover in the backcourt. Near turnover at the midline. Streaking it into the corner, and then out of bounds. Fanshawe will retain possession. Hamilton tried to chase it down on the end line. Couldn't come up with it. Dwayne Hamilton, 6'9" center, hailing out of Harrow High. Played 1 year at the University of Windsor and has now found his way into the arms of 6th-year head coach Rick Muldoon and first-year assistant Barry Amlin, who comes out of the F.J. Brennan program, having coached at the senior level in both men's and women's. 3-ball at the horn, no good. Shot clock winding down. Tough shot attempt for Corey Bondi.
Fanshawe's first 4 possessions, 2 turnovers, both forced by the Saints. 1, a bad pass on good defense, and 2, that shot clock violation. Again, good defense by the Saints.
Clark handling. 30 feet from the bucket. Leaves it for Talbot, up and over. Soaring with a 2-handed slam off the right side, 5-3.
One of the most athletic players on this Saints team, and the crowd's pumped now. We'll see if that inspires the rest of his teammates as well.
Fanshawe looking to answer, threw it away. So Steve Talbot, an OCAA All-Star a year ago, averaging double digits in scoring, has the season's first 5 points for the Saints on a 3-make and a dunk, both coming from the right side of the floor. Chris Clark has it on the dribble. Over the timeline. Leaves it for Bradley. Cross-court pass feed into the corner. Clark, good look at a 3. It just cupped out. Board cleared by Chris Barkley. Fanshawe coming the other way. Saints trying to build an early lead at home.
Here's Fanshawe. They're running an offense now with screens everywhere. This is what kind of worried Rick Muldoon earlier in the week. Fanshawe is a very disciplined team running a lot of screens, so St. Clair has to stick to their man.
Jason Edwards from point-blank range makes it. Give the assist to Josh Braby. Tied at 5, 3 minutes in. Clark having trouble with the dribble. Pulls it up, gives it to Reed Innes. Back to Talbot. They move it from right to left, another turnover. Talbot trying to get it into Hamilton, who's now struggling to get back down the floor. Conditioning may be a factor as this game plays on for the St. Clair Saints. 3-ball misses high. Fanshawe has a second life on the offensive glass. Another 3-ball. This one misses to the left. and a foul called away from the ball. It's going to be against the Saints. Paul Carter, the lead official today on the three-man crew that includes Brent Jersey out of Tecumseh, Ontario, and Robin Holbrook.
Fouls on the rebound. St. Clair's got to get position on those boards. They can't be lazy and just hope to get in there and elbow somebody, push someone out of the way. You've got to get position, and Muldoon's been forcing that at practice as they have to get better around the basket.
Hamilton picks up the foul, his first. St. Clair's second as a team, both big men. Hamilton and Talbot with the lone fouls of this game. We've nearly played 4 minutes. 3-ball, left corner, got it. Jason Edwards has now scored 5 straight, and Fanshawe has their first lead of the night. It's 8-5 for the visiting Falcons. Clark, the rookie, turns it over, and the veteran, Bo McFadden, finishes on the other end, 10-5. 7 straight for Fanshawe. Continuing to pressure man-on-man. Clark being tested with the right-handed dribble, gets a screen from Hamilton, can't finish. Put back, point-blank range is missed up front by Brian Bradley. So the Saints have had chances to score. Good looks, but they can't get it to fall.
Chris Clark taking that last shot down there sometimes feels as the point guard that he sometimes has to force the issue with taking charge of this team. He's a lot better player if he distributes the basketball, breaks the press, and does the little things like that. His shot's a decent one, but he doesn't always have to force it up.
Damian Gordon has checked in for Chris Barkley, as Bob McFadden draws the foul on the penetration.
That's 3 early fouls on the Saints. Those are things you can't be getting into now because before you know it, they're going to be shooting the one in the bonus situation. It's 3 fouls to 0 right now.
Sam Hermit checks in. 6'4" forward out of Chatham, played his ball at Chatham-Kent. And Bob McFadden is at the line. Moved away from the free throw, missed it long iron.
This is a Fanshawe team that only shot 50% in the overtime win against Niagara from the free throw line. So they're not a great free throw shooting team, but they shot 35% from the three-point line.
They are 20 of 34 on the season from the charity stripe, averaging 17 attempts a game. That time they make 1 of 2. So it's now an 8-0 scoring run for Fanshawe over the last 2.5 minutes. All of the scoring coming from that man with possession, Steve Talbot. Spin, dribble, drive, draws the block. Robin Holbrook is there with the call, and Steve Talbot will go to the line looking to add to his total.
And this is what we talked about at the beginning of the game, Frank. St. Clair came out, they scored 5 quick points. Talbot took charge, there was a lot of scoring. They played a great first 2 or 3 minutes, and now a lull in the action. They can't come down and score. They've got to string together 20 solid minutes of basketball if they're going to win basketball games.
Steve Talbot makes on his first and gets the roll on his second. So Steve Talbot has all 7 of St. Clair's points in the first 4.5 minutes. 11-7, Saints down by 4. That breaks up an 8-0 run. Fanshawe working the right side. Edwards already has 5 points on a 2 and a 3. Now he has it on a backdoor cut. Quick hook from point-blank range. He has scored the last 7 points for Fanshawe. Now he's chasing Talbot from behind, who leaves it backdoor, blown layup. Big miss by Sam Hermit. Great setup by Steve Talbot. 3-on-2 the other way. Foul, Reed Innes.
And that play at the other end there where Talbot set up Sam Hermit, that's the kind of things Coach has been talking about all week. He needs those guys to finish the layups, and again, Steve Talbot now looking to pass the ball rather than just be a scorer. So he's really developed this game over the past 2 seasons, but now the rest of the team has to respond to that and feed off that.
Reed Innes call for the personal. Phil Ferreira is at the line. He was a perfect 3 for 3 in the win over Niagara. He has now stretched that run to 4 of 4, making 5 of 5. Fanshawe has doubled up the Saints. They now lead at 15-7. 5 minutes in to the first half. Clark, fall-away jumper, high glass, missed it. Saints trying to use the glass early, can't get anything to fall. Steve Talbot has been the lone scorer. Great backdoor feed and make. Damian Gordon scores his first 2, and head coach Rick Muldoon needs time.
And rightly so. This is a team now, St. Clair, not focused. They're letting their men beat them backdoor. That's the second backdoor basket they got on 2 possessions in a row now for Fanshawe. So they have to step up on defense and find where their men are at all times. They can't be laying back on the sidelines and up near half while they're cutting in behind them. You have to have your head on a swivel and stop these guys from getting backdoor on you.
It is a 14-2 run for head coach Glenn Johnston and his Fanshawe Falcons team. Johnston, 25 years in the business. 2 national championships, 4 OCAA titles, all of those coming from 1977 to 1981. And this team has the talent to at least, I would think, challenge for an OCAA title. It's a very impressive looking team.
They've got size, they've got depth, they're not afraid to shoot, they can move the ball around, they run a very disciplined offense, so they've got all the right pieces there. It's a very good team, and when anyone talks about the West Division, they always mention Fanshawe as the team to beat for the most part. They always put a competitive team on the floor, and it's always a big game for St. Clair to play Fanshawe.
The OCAA, of course, this year occupies a 3-division format, a West region, an East region, a Central region, and the Saints are in the West region with the Sioux, Redeemer College, Lambton, Niagara, Algoma, and this Fanshawe team. So they open up the season with a regional game right now. Saints working against a straight man-to-man look. Traveling in the corner, Chris Clark, the freshman, struggling early. 14-17 remaining. That's the 4th turnover for the Saints.
And that may not be a position where you want Chris Clark to be driving down baseline. He's better off at the top so he can see the whole floor and look for his scorers like Talbot and Bradley, who are both out there right now.
Blocking foul away from the bucket. It's going to be called against Fanshawe. Chad Lofthouse, 6'6" center, guilty party, and that's a turnover for the Falcons. Fanshawe in the midst of a 14-2 run right now that has stretched their lead to 10. It's 17-7. Steve Talbot continuing to score.
That's just an athletic move to the middle in order to hang there, body control, and still put that basketball in the net.
Turnover, Talbot. Clark has him on the left. Lead pass, lob, turnover. Great D on the other end in transition, and a break. Edwards has 2 makes, 1 from behind the 3, make it 2.
And there's what we were talking about, Frank, a team that's not afraid to shoot the 3. He had an open look at a deuce, but he chose to back up, get beyond the 3-point arc, and put it in.
Talbot slow getting up. Officials call for time on the floor. That 3-point make by Jey-son Edwards gives him 10, check that, 8 points for the game on 3 field goal makes, and the lead is now 20-9. Aaron Day checks in for the Saints. So does P.J. Shalute, second-year man out of Brennan.
Aaron Day playing on an injured ankle. He broke it in the summer. He's at about 65% according to Barry Hamlin.
Bo Parsons just checks in and he turned it over. Talbot off and running to the hoop, got fouled. Too much glass on the shot attempt by Rob Medal, and the Saints have it the other way. Crucial time for St. Clair here offensively, working without Steve Talbot. See if a scorer can emerge for the Saints. They're in it, only trailing by 5. P.J. Shalute on the move, drew the block. And he's slow getting up.
Well, Frank, they're down by 5 right now, 22-17, and with Talbot on the bench, if you can keep it within 5, that gives Talbot time to breathe, have a rest, and let the other guys work and maintain. They're not in the lead right now, but we're going to replay, sorry. P.J. Shalute to the basket, fouled, hammered underneath.
Got cut off by Bob McFadden. And that'll bring him to the line. P.J. Shalute, sharp shooter at a Brennan High School. Still looking to find his range here at the collegiate level. Not as comfortable as he was when he played for Coach Amlin under the Brennan system. Still trying to find confidence, but he looks good at the line.
P.J. Shalute's the type of player where if he comes in and hits his first 2 or 3 shots, he's going to score 20 points tonight. He comes in, he misses his first 2 or 3, you might not see him put up a point. Up in Kitchener-Waterloo area at a tournament up there, I believe it was at Loyalist, Shalute had 25 points by halftime in the team's first game, but then was 1 for 17 shooting in the next game. Very streaky, hot and cold.
Day comes away with the loose ball, and a foul is going to be committed by Fanshawe center, Chad Lofthouse. And they're going to walk it the other way for a bonus situation. So the Saints, who trailed at 20-9, are on a 10-2 run. They've answered Fanshawe's run, and they've cut it to 3 with a chance to get it to 1 here with Aaron Day at the free throw line. Most of it coming without Steve Talbot. So an impressive 3 minutes right now for 6th-year head coach Rick Muldoon and his St. Clair Saints.
These are the kind of things that Muldoon and Amlin must just love. Having their, right now, 2 best players on the bench in Steve Talbot and Brian Bradley, and still hanging in at 3 points with a chance to go down by 1 here, depending on what Day does, if we can get the foul situation settled out.
Lead official Paul Carter goes over to the Fanshawe bench, confers with Glenn Johnston. The foul is the 7th team foul, so Aaron Day will walk to the line. He's already scored on a right-handed layup, created a couple of turnovers, got a couple of defensive rebounds, but missed long to the right. Rebound pulled down by Lofthouse. So St. Clair not able to cut the deficit from 3-1. And with 9:15 remaining, Fanshawe continues to lead. Lofthouse in the post, working against Hamilton. Missed it. Hamilton recovers for the rebound. Lead pass. P.J. Shalhoub. Off the leg, couldn't control it. Turnover.
These are the turnovers, and these are the things that you can't do. They've been creating great plays on defense. Hamilton, a great, just straight up let his man shoot. Got the rebound, fed it to Shalhoub up the court, and then Shalhoub kicked it out of bounds. Unforced turnovers. Fanshawe's not doing anything to create that turnover. They're doing it themselves.